Okay, so we are ready. It's time to start our yoga class. August 3rd here and August 4th in Australia. So welcome everyone. Thank you always for joining me. I always like to preface the class by reminding us to listen to our own bodies, only go as far as our body tells us to go. It gives us little warnings, so listen for them. So don't overstretch and don't overexert. The yoga pose is an easy pose. The yoga pose is steady and easy. So today, if you really want to concentrate on practicing with the quality of awareness that is observant and accepting. So honor yourself, honor your limitations, honor your shape, your size. So begin, if you can all be sitting up, and it's really good to be sitting on a pillow. It helps with keeping, helps with the spine to be nice and vertical, coming straight up out of the pelvis. Tall, straight tree up through the crown of the head. You can cross your feet in front of you if that's comfortable, and you can just rest your hands on your knees as we begin to move into our inner worlds, letting go of all the busyness around us, our concerns, our worries, our fears, our lists, and just start to come inward, finding that peace inside, deep inside. So you can close your eyes. Begin to just notice your breath, the touch of the breath on the inhale as it comes in through the nostrils. And follow the exhale all the way through to it, leaving your body through the nostrils on the exhale. Just observe its pace, the quality of your breath today. Is it smooth or jerky? You don't need to try and change it at this point, just observe it. And with every exhale, really relax and let go of any tension or tight spots you might be feeling in your body. And with every inhale, enjoy the energy and the refreshment that the inhale brings to you. You can soften your lower belly and invite the breath in a little bit deeper. Feeling the expansion on the inhale and the letting go on the exhale. Just find that centered spot in the base of your body. Relax and soften your shoulders away from your ears. And we're going to try a little breathing practice today. It's a formal yoga breathing practice, alternate nostril breathing, which some of you may have done. So we'll go through it really from the very slowly and basically, but this particular breathing practice does help to bring balance into the body and mind, as well as calm the nervous system. So I'm going to give step-by-step instructions, and we'll go slowly, and don't feel no strain or discomfort. So try to just breathe fully, but not causing any undue stress or strain or discomfort on your body. So you can have your left hand gently resting on your left thigh and bring your right hand up towards your face. Going to fold your index finger and your third finger down into your palm. So it'll be resting at the base of your thumb. And then turn your hand so that your palm is facing towards your face. Now place the tip of your thumb on your right nostril and the tip of your ring finger on the left nostril. Your pinky finger can just be by your ring finger. So inhale and close the left nostril as you exhale completely through the right nostril. Inhale through the right nostril. Close the right nostril and exhale completely through the left nostril. Inhale through the left nostril. And close the left nostril and exhale through the right nostril. That's one cycle. So we'll try it again. Just let your thumb and ring finger rest on either side of your nostrils. Inhale. Now close your left nostril and exhale completely through the right nostril. Inhale through the right nostril. Close the right nostril and exhale through the left nostril. Inhale through the left nostril. Close the left nostril and exhale through the right nostril. Inhale through the right nostril. Close the right nostril. Exhale through the left nostril. Inhale through the right nostril. Close. Exhale through the right. Inhale through the right. Close. Open up the left and exhale through the left. Inhale through the left. Close. Open the right. Exhale through the right. And you can just continue on if you can follow that pattern of closing one nostril, exhaling, and then inhaling, and then closing that one and exhaling through the opposite. And then inhaling through that one. Do 2 more rounds. Try and deepen the inhale. And you can finish up with an exhale. And then bring your hand down onto your thigh. I know if you haven't done that before, you can get a little bit lost in the pattern, but you can always look it up online if you want to practice it. It's a really, really great balancing to balance out your energy, to really calm down the nervous system. And once you get the pattern, it actually works really well, and you can just go into a really nice rhythm. You don't want to push too hard on your nostrils. You want to keep your spine straight. But hopefully that will have left you mentally alert but relaxed. So just come back to center. Find your grounded spot, grounded place. And then you can come to lie down. You can take your pillow away from you. Bring that strap to one side, your right side. And lie down on your mats. And just relax. Have your palms open to the sides. Take your feet out to hip distance, to the width of the mat. And we'll do some easy windshield wipers here. Instead of taking your knees all the way over, keep that. So go over to the left side, keep the right knee up a little bit. So keeping that right knee wide. Inhale and rock over to the left side, keeping the left knee a little bit higher. You don't have to bring your knees all the way down to the side. Exhale as you come to the side, inhale as you come to center, and feel the roll across your lower back and sacrum area. So just a really gentle and wide windshield wiper. If you like, you can move your head in the opposite direction to your knees. Nice and easy. One more round. And then come to still. And bring your feet into that hip distance apart. And we'll do some pelvic tilts. So after we rolled from side to side on our pelvis, we'll now do some pelvic tilts. So start to bring your hip points towards the front of the room, and you'll create an arch in your lower back as you inhale. And exhale, you can start to bring your hips back towards your head as your back flattens down onto the mat. So your pelvis is rocking backwards and forwards. Really, this movement is coming from the pelvis, but you can feel the undulation all the way up and down your spine as you rock the pelvis backwards and forwards. Nice bobbing action. Your shoulders are relaxed. Neck is relaxed. One more time and then come to neutral spine. Now bring your knees in to your chest. And on an inhale, we're going to try and link our movement with our breath. So try and stretch the inhale all the way through the movement and the exhale all the way through to the end of the movement. So the inhale, the feet come up to the ceiling, arms come up and back, backs of the hands resting on the ground. And exhale, feet come down, knees bend, hands down on the mat. Inhale, arms up and over, feet to the ceiling. Exhale, return down. Inhale. You can do this about another 3 times at your own breath pace. Stretching the breath so that it links up with the movement. Slowing everything down. And come to still. And keeping your feet in towards your chest. You can have your hands on the tops of your knees and just start to do some ankle circles. So rotate your ankles in opposite directions. Foot is rotating around the ankle joint. Bringing blood flow, circulation down into that joint. Creating space and keeping that joint healthy. And then go in the opposite direction. Really focus down on your ankle joints. Keeping your neck long and relaxed, shoulders relaxed on the mat. And then take the feet in the same direction. So rotate the feet around to the right. Come to center and around to the left. And come to center. Now take the right toes up towards the ceiling and point the left toes down towards the mat. And then switch, so right toes down to the ceiling, left toes up to the right toes down to the floor, left toes up to ceiling. Switch, switch. Feeling the stretch along the top of the feet as you point all the way up the calf as you point them up towards the ceiling. And then you can come to still. Now draw your knees in towards your chest and take your knees in opposite directions. So opposite from each other, all the way out to the opposite sides of the room, around to the front of the room, and then back into your chest. Doing some hip rotations here. Once again, creating space in the hip joints. Trying to bring the circulation, blood flow, and lubrication into our joints. All the way out to the sides, front of the room, and then back in towards the center. And then come to center, and you can go in the opposite direction. Creating healthy, happy hips. Try to picture the tops of your femur bones, the tops of the thigh bones rotating in the hip socket. With space comes freedom. And come to center. And now you can take your feet down onto the mat and find your strap or your towel, whatever you have with you today. Find the middle of the strap, and begin to raise your right knee in towards your chest, and you can loop the strap around the ball of your right foot. Now you have two options here. You can keep the left foot planted on the mat, or you can take the left leg out, stretch it out along the mat as a firm foundation as you begin to raise your right foot up towards the ceiling. You can have your hands up near the tops of the strap, but without any strain. Just experimenting what works better for you. If that left leg can be that firm, you can even make that left leg really active. If it's spread along the mat, pressing the upper thigh down towards the earth. And then draw the heel up to your right heel up towards the ceiling, toes towards your head, and your left heel, if your foot is lying on the mat, left heel drawing towards the front of the room, toes up towards the ceiling, in a very active stretch here. Now feel the resistance along the back of your right leg. And let your exhalation find some space and relaxation. So inhale deep down into the belly. up the leg, and exhale, relax the tightness. And with that relaxation, you may be able to draw your foot in a little bit closer in towards your head without overstretching. So pause, observe, wait for some space, and then if you find you've got a little extra, you can move in a little bit closer in towards your head. Two more deep inhales down into the belly. Exhales down the back of the right leg. And then you can take your right hand and hold your strap with your right hand. Take your left arm out in a T beside you. And then just start to take your right leg out towards the right side of the room. Feeling a strong sensation in your upper right thigh. And try to keep your foot more towards your head than down towards the other direction. So you want to keep that stretch, that foot coming in towards your head. Try to keep the back of the pelvis, the left side, it's grounded as possible. Left shoulder anchored down to the mat. Feel a strong stretch up the right inner thigh. 2 more breaths. And then bring that foot back up to vertical. Take the strap in your left hand. Take your right arm out to the side. And you're going to really anchor that right shoulder down to the mat as you begin to take your left foot up and all the way over in a twist towards the left side of the mat. You may be able to reach down towards the earth, keeping the right shoulder anchored. You're going to feel it, that stretch or that strong sensation on the outside of the right leg. Once again, finding the resistance, exhaling till you can create some space and softness in the tightness. One more deep inhale here. And then bring your right leg up towards the ceiling. You can release the strap and take it to your left side. Lower your right leg down onto the mat. And you can really feel the difference in the tingling sensation in the right leg versus your left leg. So come back to center here. Nice deep inhale and exhale. Making sure your shoulders are relaxed, neck is long, back of the head gently resting on the mat. And then bring your feet back onto the mat and take your strap, loop it around the ball of your left foot, and then take your right foot out along the length of along the floor. If that's comfortable for you, toes turned up to the ceiling, heel drawn towards the front of the room. As you begin to raise your left leg, straighten your left knee. You want a little bend in your left knee. You don't want to fully straighten it or hyper extend it. So keep a little bend in the left knee. Draw the heel up towards the ceiling, toes towards your head. And once again, just breathe down into your belly. Taking the inhale down the belly and up the back of the left leg as though it can go up there. And then exhaling, finding some space. Releasing any tightness or some of the tightness you might be feeling. And with the exhale, you may be able to draw your leg in a little bit closer towards your head. Two more breaths here. And then you can take your strap into your left arm. Take your right arm out along the mat beside you, stretched out. And then begin to take the left leg down to the left side of the room, trying to keep that the back of the right pelvis grounding down towards the earth. It's a little difficult. But don't come too far, don't let it come too far up so the left hip is coming all the way off the mat. So just come as far as you can without lifting that right hip too far off the mat. Feel that deep stretch in the left inner thigh. Inhale and exhaling down into the strong sensation or resistance. Feel the lengthening of that left thigh muscle, the inner thigh muscle. And then you might want to bring your right foot onto the mat as you bring the left leg up to center. And you will, I forgot to say that when you take this leg over to the right side, you do need to extend the right leg down onto the mat, because with a bent knee, you can't really cross it over. Sorry, I didn't mention that. So take your strap into your right hand now, extend the left hand out along the ground, and then start to go over in a twist over to the right side, keeping the foot moving towards the head. Feel that strong sensation up the outer left leg. Don't go too far that you are feeling intense pain. And then anchor the left shoulder blade down into the earth. Using the breath to soften the stretch, soften any tightness. And then you can bring that left leg up to center. Unstrap yourself and bring both legs out onto the mat. Lengthen out onto the mat. You can bring your knees back to pointing up towards the ceiling. Feet flat on the mat, and then cross your right leg over your left leg, and then draw both knees in towards your chest, and you can hold the front of your shins here. Bring your feet back down onto the mat, and now cross the left leg over the right leg, over the right knee, and draw your knees in towards your torso. Come back to your center. Both knees and now both feet now down onto the mat and roll over. And you can come into tabletop. So the knees are under the hips, the wrists are under the shoulders, fingers are spread wide, the hips are about hip distance apart, fingers are spread wide, a little bit wider than shoulder width. And we're going to actually do a sequence. We're going to start with cat, then we're going to go in, no, we're going to start with cow, into cat, and then into a child's pose. So start to raise the sit bones up towards the ceiling as you bring your chest and head forward. There's a slight arch in the back. Lift up from your wrists up through your shoulder blades in cow pose, spreading the collarbones wide. And then come into cat, so drop the tailbone, round the spine, head drops down towards, the crown of the head drops towards the mat, and then take your hips back and lower down into child's pose. Begin to lift up on all fours, gliding the chest and head forward into cow, spreading across the collarbones. Now rounding the tailbone as you round up and tailbone down towards the mat, crown of the head down towards the mat in cat, and then take your hips back down onto your heels in child's pose. Hands in front of you. And then one more time, coming back up onto tabletop as you arch the back and roll into cow, round into cat, and then glide back into child's pose. Breathe deep into your belly and feel the breath in your back rib cage also as your back rib cage expands and opens with the inhale. Okay, so come back to table. We're going to make a really firm table here. So the fingers are spread wide and the lifting up from the wrists all the way up through the shoulders. And now try and rotate your upper arms towards the front of the room. So you're going to be externally rotating the upper arms towards the front of the room. So they're going to be going this way. Firm up the belly by taking the belly button in towards the spine and then a little lift up towards your chest. So in and up. Take your right foot back, toes curled under, and lengthen all the way from the inner right belly, inner thigh, all the way down to the inner arch of your right foot. And then lift, using your inner thigh muscles, lift your right leg up to hip height. And then release it back down to the mat. Lift it one more time, using that inner thigh muscle. Keeping your belly, right belly activated. And back down to the mat. One more time, lifting, feeling the length from the right belly muscles all the way through to the heel that is drawing towards the back of the room. Stabilize your left shin down into the mat. As we come into bird dog, you want to keep the left knee over the left hip. As you raise your left arm in front of you up to about shoulder height in a balancing pose. Opposite limbs reaching towards the fingers towards the front of the room, the heel towards the back of the room, and then you can bring the knee and hand back down to the mat. Come back into child's pose. And when you're ready, come back to table. So turn those upper arms towards the front of the room. Rotate them towards the front. Lift up through your arm bones. Activate the belly muscles. And then take that left leg back, toes turned under. Lengthening all through from the left belly muscles, left thigh, inner thigh, all the way through to the inner arch of the left foot. And then you can raise that left leg just to hip height, toes pointed down, heel drawing towards the back of the room, and then lower, lift, and lower. One more time, lifting, and coming into bird dog on the opposite side. So ground your right shin into the mat, right knee and shin, as you begin to reach your right fingertips towards the front of the room. They're lifted to about shoulder height. Feeling the extension from the tips of the right finger through to the heel of the left foot. And then you can bring that left knee back to the mat, right knee back to the mat. Come back and rest in child's pose. And one more time, back to tabletop. And we're going to do something we haven't done yet, but most of you have been here for a lot of the classes. So we're going to go into a down dog. If you have any heart problems or glaucoma, eye issues, just stay in child's pose. Otherwise, curl your toes under and externally rotate those upper arms. Like I said, rotate those upper arms. Feel each and every finger on the mat, the length of the finger on the mat. So you take a bit of pressure off your wrists. And then begin to raise your knees. Continue to raise your hips up to the ceiling as you push through from your hands through to your shoulders, making a nice clean line from your wrists all the way through to your tailbone. Sit bones are reaching towards the ceiling. Your head is relaxed between your arms and looking behind you through your legs. You can release your heels down towards the mat. And then come forward into plank, lower your knees down to the earth, and you can sit back in child's pose. Your first down dog in my class. We'll do it another time. So come back up to table, turn your toes under, make sure that your fingers are spread wide. The inner arms are rotating towards the front of the room. As you begin to lift your knees, hips come up towards the ceiling, sit bones are drawing up towards the ceiling. There's a diagonal line from the crown of the head through to the tailbone. Reach your thighs, the back of your thighs towards the back of the room. And you can release your heels down towards the earth. So press back with your hands. Press into the earth with your hands. And then come forward. Knees come down to the mat and back in child's pose. We're going to do this one more time, and then from there we're going to walk the hands back to a forward fold. Okay, so come up to table, tuck the toes, begin to lift the knees, hips, come up to the ceiling, pushing with your hands up through your shoulders, crown of the head through the tailbone, and then bend your knees and start to walk your hands back towards your feet, and then you can keep the knees generously bent and you can rest your elbows on the tops of your thighs. Ground your feet. Then take your fingers down towards the mat. Soften your spine in towards your torso. Straighten one leg. Then straighten the other leg. Then, if you like, you can straighten both legs. Let the crown of the head relax down towards the mat. Rock it, nod it forward and backwards and side to side. And then begin to draw your hands up towards your knees and lift with the base of the skull up to, with a straight back to halfway lift. So the crown of the head is drawing towards the front of the room, the tailbone drawing towards the back of the room. Inhale and exhale, bow deeply into forward fold. One more time with a straight back, come to halfway lift. The neck is long, you're looking down. Bow deeply back into forward fold. One more time into halfway lift. This time have a little bend in the knees. Take your arms out to the side like an airplane and come all the way up, palms turned up. As you straighten your legs, come all the way up to standing upward hands. Bring your hands into, palms in towards each other and then down the center of your body towards your heart center. And then you can just let them drop down by your sides. Very nice work. I hope it wasn't too challenging, but I hope it was enjoyable and relaxing. So have your, I think we'll get your straps again. Come to mountain pose, so the insides of your feet are parallel with each other. Hips are over your knees, shoulders are over your hips, shoulders are relaxing away from your ears, right, rooting down through your feet, the soles of your feet, and rising up through the crown of your head. And then hold your strap about shoulder width in front of you. And have a nice taut strap. So pull on either side, and then on an inhale, raise your arms up. Reach up as your feet root down. Drop your arm bones down into your shoulder sockets. And then exhale as you bring your strap down in front of you. Inhale, reach up. Pull on either edge, so you've got a nice taut strap. And then exhale, down in front of you. And one more time, up towards the ceiling. And then you can start to bend over to your right. So taking your body over to the right side, lateral bend. Breathe into your side rib cage there. Your inner rib cage, a little massage with your breath. massaging the little muscles that connect the rib cage, the rib bones together. Come back up to center and then over to the other side. Back to center, and now slide your arms all the way out on your strap so that you have a V, with making a V with your arms. I'm going to just adjust my screen a little. So nice wide grip as you start to take your arms all the way back behind you. So take your grip as wide as you need so that your arms can easily pass behind your back. And then inhale, bring the strap up and around in front of you. And then begin to take it back up again, hands up towards the ceiling, taking your arms back behind you, broadening out through your collarbones, and then inhale as you bring your arms back up to the ceiling. Exhale as you bring your hands down by your sides. Okay, and now we'll just take your legs, your feet out, just a nice distance apart, not too wide. Feet are turned out to the sides, and we'll just swing from side to side. Turning your whole torso, your shoulders, your head, letting the opposite heel come up off the mat. The arms are free, swinging widely. And you can start to slow it down. And now with those feet pointed out diagonally to the corners of the room, start to bend your knees into a squat. You can bring your hands to heart center. We want the pubic bone and the tailbone to be somewhat equally weighted down towards the mat, the knees tracking over the feet. Find a nice, comfortable squat here. And then rise up as you straighten your legs. Fingers up towards the ceiling. Inhale. Exhale, back down. Feel that relaxation across your back. Widen across your lower back. Rotate these, keep these thighs nice and active so they're keeping the knees out, aligning with the feet. And inhale. Next time, as you come down, you can bring your arms into cactus, into goddess pose. So the forearms are parallel with the earth. The palms of the hands are facing towards the front of the room. Inhale. As you rise up. The last time we're going to come all the way down, down, down to, if you can come down into a squat. If that's not comfortable, you can just come down onto your bottoms. And then if you're comfortable in the squat, you can come to prayer pose. Your elbows can be on the insides of your knees. You can just hang out here. Stretching those inner thighs again, and the outer thighs, and the lower back. Reaching up from tailbone through to the crown of the head. And then you can slowly bring your buttocks down onto the mat. Put your arms behind your thighs as you begin to tilt back on the back of your sit bones into boat pose. Resting back here. You can have your lower legs parallel with the earth. If you like, you can straighten one leg. You can straighten the other leg. If you want, you can straighten both legs. can try bringing your hands out to either side of your legs. And if you want to try, you can even try to straighten your legs and your arms as you balance back on. Okay, wherever you're comfortable. And then you can bring your feet back down onto the mat. Now, bend your right knee and place your left foot by your right hip. And then if you like, you can cross your right foot over your left knee. So we're in this position. If you can't get that right knee over, you can just leave it here. But if you like, you can take it across your left knee, flat on the mat. We're going to come into a seated twist here. So start to bring your torso a little bit around to the right. Wrap your elbow or hand around your top knee. Swing your right arm back behind you till you find the ground behind you. And then you're going to inhale, elongate from the tailbone up through the crown of the head. Pause. Exhale, begin to twist around to the right. You can inhale again, observe, wait for some space, and then you can start to exhale a little further around. Inhaling and then exhaling. You can even look over your right shoulder. And just observe here. Picture your spine as a spiral staircase. Enjoy the sensation of that twisting in the spine. And then you can unwind. And then bend your right knee and put it by your left thigh. And then cross the left foot over the right side. If that's comfortable, or you can just keep it like in front of you, if that's a better position for you. Wrap the right elbow around left knee, the top knee. Swing the arm around and find the earth behind you. Fingertips touching the earth. Turn the torso a little bit to the left as you inhale. You want to elongate before we twist. Elongate. And then exhale and start to take from the lower belly, start to turn to the left side. You can wait and pause here for as long as you like until you feel like you're creating some space with the exhales. If you feel ready, you can start to twist a little more around to the left. Taking the organs around to the left. The softer organs inside you are also moving around as your skeleton turns. And you can finally end up in your final twist and just observe, soften, and enjoy the pose. Lengthening, keeping the tailbone to the crown of the head, a clear channel. Even though you're twisted, you still have a clear energy channel from the tailbone through to the crown of the head. And then start to unwind. You can come back to your mats now and lie down as we begin Shavasana. If you want a rolled up mat under your knees, that's always really helpful. You can have a pillow under your head to provide extra comfort. And then just lie down on your mats. Just begin to relax and enjoy all the fruits of your labor. Let the earth, feel like the earth is cradling you. So you just let your body relax into the earth, the support of the earth underneath you. And let your top body kind of fall down into your back body. So you feel the weight of gravity taking you down. Make sure there's no parts of your body touching any other parts. Your feet are splayed out to the side. And enjoy the in and out of your breath, the ebb and flow of the breath. I'll guide you through a short body meditation, starting at your toes. Relax all 10 toes. To the soles of the feet, relax the soles of your feet. The tops of your feet. The inner arches of your feet. Your ankles. Your shins and your calves. Lower legs relax. The tops and bottoms of your knees relax. Your upper and lower, inner and outer thighs relax. Coming up to the groins, relax. The hips relax. Lower belly, soften and relax. Lower back and sacrum relax. Mid back, the lower rib cage relax. Your upper back and chest relax. Shoulder blades relax. Spread wide. Collarbones relax. Across the tops of your shoulders relax. Fingers and palms of your hands relax. The tops of your hands and your wrists relax. Lower arms and elbows relax. Upper arms and under your arms relax. Coming back up along the tops of the shoulders, relax. Up the back of the neck, relax. Base of the skull, relax. Around the jawbone, relax. Cheeks, relax. Under the eyes, relax. All the little muscles around your eyes, relax. Eyebrows and between your eyebrows, relax. Forehead, relax. Coming up to the top of the head, relax. Back of the skull, relax. Full body relaxation. Full body letting go. Finding the peace, stillness, and tranquility in total stillness. And I've enjoyed the class. I won't be here next week. I have a new baby being born. So, not me, but the grandchild. So I just wish you all a wonderful evening, a relaxing evening, a good day for the Australians. And I hope you can take the fruits of your yoga practice into the rest of the day. Namaste.